Welcome to the Save Bar Golf Podcast. Dominic. Derek is somewhere over the flyover parts of the country, as it is known here in the Midwest. He's going to Chicago, so he won't be on the next couple. I had to write it down because I don't know what episode this is, because obviously this one's coming out after this week. It's a whole thing. So I double booked. Welcome to EDD with Dom. So this is episode 167, but we're joined by David and Eva from Warrior Smokehouse, Warriors Golf Club, whatever you want to go by on any given day. But this is one that we've been excited about. David has become a good friend to myself and Derek and the rest of the crew. And the food looks phenomenal. And whenever we get to talk about food on here for an entire hour, we jump on that opportunity. So guys, welcome. I'm excited to learn about Warrior Smokehouse, the stories behind it, XYZ, but go ahead, introduce yourselves, kind of the roles, whatever.
Okay.
Cool.
I'm Eva, David's wife, co-owner of Warrior Smokehouse.
And I am the man behind the smokehouse. David, and again my lovely wife, who's co-owner and partner, sous chef, main chef, baker, everything. Like it's a teamwork between us, and then we also have my mother-in-law, Eva's mom, who is part of the team, and we have two other members as well that are basically family now, and help us out whenever we do our pop-ups or even catering events as well.
So I had heard about you through Ralph, Raul, Hector, Sergio, the Los Golferos and their podcast. And then I had saw like pictures of a pop-up you guys had done. I don't remember when it was, which one it was, but I remember just seeing big slabs of smoked meat, briskets, stuff like that. And I'm like, okay. I see it, and then all of a sudden you're talking about it, and I'm like, he's gonna be on one day. Not gonna listen to it. So I'm going into this fresh, like you and I had talked about. It's not like a disrespect thing. It's I wanted to learn everything. I'm one of those people who like to be surprised and like to learn things firsthand versus coming with the prior knowledge. So I know you and I have talked about food quite a bit on the phone,
yes,
which has pulled me away from work. And it's never a bad thing. But as someone who was originally going to go to culinary school, and I actually applied, interviewed, did all these things with the Culinary Institute, and ended up not going because they gave me that bill, and I was like,
Yeah, $50,000 for a semester.
It was 80.
Oh shit. Yeah. When I looked into it, and this was Le Cordon Bleu. It was like about 55 for a semester, and it was you could get it done in a semester, or you would have to go 2 semesters.
No, this was the CIA, the Culinary Institute of America.
Oh,
so fancy.
Yeah.
Or it was the Arts Institute, one of the two.
Yeah.
Either way, it was like 80 grand, and I'm like, that's a whole lot of money that I really don't know if I'm that passionate about. But I give you my background to kind of go into how did you decide cooking, barbecue, baking, that was going to be your calling. I know you both have full-time jobs as well outside of it, but what made you guys go, hey, we can do this as like a side hustle? What was the draw?
So the biggest thing that happened for us was I got sick. I'm the type of person where I'm pretty much healthy for majority of the year, and then once out of the year I get sick and it hits me pretty bad. It's to the point that I end up in the hospital, fucking hooked up to IV lines for hours, and then get released. And then typical me, I have a tradition that it's like as soon as I get let go of the hospital, after going in the hospital, I have to go get myself a carne asada burrito to celebrate in a way. And
a good tradition.
Right? And so I got sick. I ended up missing about 7 days of work. And bills are bills, man. They don't wait for you, and you got to take care of it. I'm a big fan of what you guys do. So like, like I've mentioned to you before, I've listened to all of your episodes from episode 1 all the way up to the most recent one, and like I understand that you know exactly what I mean. That like you've had to sell stuff, your pair of shoes for you to pay your card note. In our case, we're both big Disneyland people. That's kind of how we met. Our story with Disneyland, and I was a big Disneyland pin collector, and I had various collections, but my biggest collection was Beauty and the Beast because that's one of my favorite movies, and I ended up having to sell all of my pins just to be able to survive, make payments, get everything taken care of. And at that point, we had been cooking, we had been smoking meats and doing stuff. And it got to the point where one day I invited one of my friends, who is now one of our business partners that we have, and also great help. And he is the type of person that he travels to go try out barbecue joints. And he had just recently came back from a city called Fresno in California. That's northern to us. It's about a 3-hour drive from us. And he had a famous barbecue spot from there. And when he came back, I had just done tri-tip, and I gave him some for him to try out. And he told me, he's all like, "Hey, bro," I'm like, "How much would you charge me to make me one of these?" And I'm like, "I'm not gonna charge you, bro. You're a homie." And he's like, "No, for real. How much would you charge me?" Because like, dude, it's good. And like I've always said, like family will tell you your food is good just because it's family, or in a way they'll kind of tell you like, "Hey, it's good, but it could be a little bit better." Or they want you straight out to, "Hey, your shit sucks, bro. Just give it up."
Stop doing it.
Like, stop doing that. Stop trying. So they're always kind of like, they'll tell you like nicely in a way. And like family always said like, "Oh, the way you cook is always good. Like, we like how you make it." Or when's the next time you're going to do a carne asada? Or when are you going to cook again? Or like, can we celebrate Thanksgiving at your house? And so I was always all like, okay, do I really make this food great? Or is it that good that a lot of people are liking it? And it wasn't until my friend told me, he's like, "Dude, like, how much would you charge me for a plate? Because whatever you would charge, dude, I'd pay it." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" As I do, I just drove fucking 3 hours to go try this spot, and the food was mediocre at best. And I'd rather just drive less than 5 minutes to your house and pick up a fresh plate of hot food that I can still enjoy while it's hot. And it just got me thinking. And, I was stressed out trying to figure out a way how to pay the bills. And I looked at Eva and I told her, and I'm like, "What if we sold our food? Like, would you be down to try it?"
I was like, "How do you mean sell off?" It was like, "Yeah, like do a pop-up, like sell food, like brisket, pork, chicken." And I was like, "Well, it doesn't hurt to try, So that whole week, I guess the week going towards doing our first pop-up, I was stressed. I was like, what if nobody shows up and we have all this food left over? Like what's gonna happen? You just go, you just think about all this what ifs, But luckily we sold out within an hour and a half.
Wow.
And after that, we still had people in line. So we're like, everything sold out that we went out of our way to go buy extra meat. So people would just have something to eat. So they wouldn't leave empty handed. We went to go buy some. ¿Qué compramos?
We ended up buying carne asada and just smoking it, which threw everybody off because like everybody's used to carne asada. You're used to either like on a propane grill or
like a flat top,
or anything like that.
Yeah.
So like when you actually get it in a smoker, that's one of the reasons why we use a smoker. It enhances the flavors of the marinade or the seasoning that you use, and it gives it a different texture as well. Because like you're used to it being maybe I don't know how you may like your meat, but like for me, I'm more of a medium rare type of person.
With steak, I'm weird with like textures, so like it really
Uh-huh.
depends on like the cut of meat. So like
Okay.
burgers, like I like well done because I don't like the texture of ground beef if it's not cooked.
Yeah.
It's it freaks me out a little bit. I don't know how to describe it. Other it makes me sound like a bitch, but that's fine. Steaks, um, like a medium well, like not super pink, but like a little pink for me is pretty good.
Okay.
Again, it's a textural thing. I have had like really, really good like medium, but whenever I
Mhm.
ask for like medium, it's always a little undercooked for me. So I've started saying medium well, and it's kind of more what I like. Um, that type of stuff. Chicken and pork, just cook it so I don't get salmonella and die. That's all I ask. Like, I just don't let the best pork chop I've had in my life kill me. Like, that's
Yeah.
perfect.
You ain't gotta worry about that with us, man, because all of our stuff, especially our brisket and our pork, will cook for a minimum of
16 hours.
14 hours. It's always a minimum of 14. Um,
Jeez.
they'll go longer. We had one where we had to push our opening back a couple of hours because our brisket and our pork ended up going almost 22 hours.
I think it depends on also how cold and hot it is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's crazy because like you would think during the cold it would take a lot longer, but for some reason it cooks faster. It's during the hotter months that it gives me those long cooks.
Could it be the humidity? Like, there's more moisture in the air when it's warmer.
Maybe, but I don't think it's that much of a factor because here in LA, it's not so much humidity. Like if we were maybe more southern California,
Mhm.
where there's more humidity, I think that would have a bigger impact on it. But it's just weird, and it's like that's something that now I learned to account for that little delay. And again, like just being a student of learning your techniques, you learn the tricks of the trade.
Yes.
And you know what to do when your food is not cooking fast enough and you're running out of time. You also know how to keep the food nice and moist when it cooks a lot faster than you thought it was going to cook.
Mhm.
So it's yeah, we've been now doing this. We're gonna be doing 3 years in October since we started officially doing it. But one of the things that kind of like made us, I've been cooking like majority of my life. Um, I grew up watching Emerald Lagasse,
Mhm.
and I always loved his philosophy of always having that strong flavor profile. That his famous catchphrase, "Bam!"
Damn.
Like always wanted that. Like that's how I felt like my food should be. It's like as soon as you bite into it, you're having my food because it's seasoned strongly. You're getting all the flavors and you're getting all the hints and taste of what I want you to taste in the food that you're eating from me. And so I've always been into that. And then when COVID hit, um, we had just gotten the smoker a couple months prior to that, and so like with COVID, everything stopped. So we had a lot of free time to experiment, create flavor profiles, and basically perfect their craft and get us dialed in really, really, really close to what we now have. Our renditions or versions of the rubs that we use.
So I actually grew up. My mom showed me Emerald when I was little, so I know about Emerald. I grew up a big Bobby Flay and Guy fan for the same reasons because
Yeah.
Guy has always thought outside the box in terms of
Yeah.
flavor profile, seasonings. But he's also made it fun, right?
Yeah.
Like I feel like some celebrity chefs, you look at him and you're like, it's just like it's a almost makes it look hard, but then they're like, it's so easy. Guy makes everything seem like it's so much fun to try
Yeah.
and the flavors and he's a big fan of fusion, which I'm a big fan of in the culinary world, whether it's like I love Asian fusion, Vietnamese fusion, stuff like that. Um and then Bobby Flay's a little bit more traditional, kind of
Yeah.
Tex-Mex, Southern United States, stuff like that. But then he can also throw down. Hence the show beat Bobby Flay, and I think Bobby Flay is one of the most underrated chefs in the U.S.
Yeah.
Um, There's an Australian guy I really like too. I think his name's Curtis Stone. I always forget
Yeah.
his name. I love Curtis Stone for the grilling side of
Yep.
things. I think his recipes are easy, but he seasons everything really well.
I like his accent.
It's Australia. Yeah, I'd like to meet him, but the one thing I struggle with when I cook is I never add enough salt. And then when I feel like I add enough, I'm like, oh, I can add a little bit more, and then it's over salted. So there's always a fine line
Yeah.
with what needs, and that's something I've always struggled with. But then the other thing that you hit on that I struggle with as well is with my photography. I never know what to charge people. I don't know what my time's worth. I don't know XYZ. So my good friend and his wife had their first baby late last year. I think it was October, November-ish. I don't remember. And I did their maternity pictures. And I've never done maternity pictures. So I'm like, I don't really want to charge you because I just don't feel right. So then if I screw up, you're out that money. But then they're like, you like, dude, you do portraits. You're not going to screw it up. And I'm like, I might screw it up. And I didn't charge them. It's just one of those things where it's like I don't want to play that game, and then all of a sudden you're beefing with friends, and um, so I didn't charge him, and his wife was like really nervous because I'm a little bit more loud and bubbly than I think
Mhm.
she's used to like photographers being, and she ended up having so much fun. And they ended up Venmoing me like $100. I'm like, dude, you don't have to. And he's like, dude, we had so much fun. Please just take this. And it's one of those things where I don't know what to charge my friends.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm kind of with you where it's like, you're my friends. I don't think I would charge you
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, your friends are your biggest supporters other than
Oh
family.
yeah.
But in a way, they are family. So I've done pictures for a lot of my friends, whether it's like my buddy had a 70s Stingray for a little bit. I did his car pictures, and I'm like, I don't know, charge you, thank you. It's one of those things where it's like, thank you for the experience. Like that's all I'm looking for. And
Yeah.
he's like, you do not leave this $20 bill in my car. I'm like, it's not mine. He goes, yes, it is. And I'm like, fine. Like, like that's something that I struggle with as well. And I don't know how to get around it. So I'm happy you did because good God, you have the potential to be like super successful, especially in barbecue. Like obviously I live here in Minnesota. I can't just boogie on over to SoCal.
Gonna ship it for
Right.
I mean, if you're offering,
you. Hey,
if you're offering,
Just to make sure you get there ASAP
it's
though.
safe. He gets there
if
safe.
you're offering, so like there's not. I don't want to say there's not great barbecue around me because there are a couple spots, but like it's not fresh, right? Like with you guys, it's like, hey, this is right off the smoker. I believe. Do you have a Traeger?
Yes, we do.
So like
So
we have a Traeger. We
Mhm.
have a Traeger as well. So it's like, hey, nothing beats it when it's fresh off the Traeger, fresh out the
Okay.
smoker. We don't really have that here. And like the watching your guys' page with you explaining how you cook everything, how you smoke everything, watching it unwrap and everything.
He's like salivating.
I'm dying a little bit. Um, Seeing all the positive comments and people being like, wow, I wish that was me, or wow, I wish I lived closer. You don't see it very often with food places, right? It's like, oh, I can just order it whenever. So there's not that urgency.
Yeah.
Um, I've never had FOMO before, but every time you guys have done a pop up since I found the page, I have a little bit of FOMO. And I know Ralph does as well.
Yeah.
But your guys' food looks great. What is the inspiration behind the food? Because you don't do just like straight up American barbecue.
Yeah.
It's very Mexican, right? It's very
Yeah.
heritage roots. Would you call it like a fusion, or would you say it's more Mexican styled cooking?
I would call it a fusion. And the reason why I would call it a fusion is because of the mixture of what I do. I put a little bit of everything into it. So the cooking style is traditional Texas style barbecue. And where the fusion comes into play is it has to do a lot of with the rubs and the seasonings that we're using for it. So I'm using a lot of for our brisket, it's traditional Mexican carne asada rub that you would use
Okay.
on a brisket. The fork is more Americanized, and I give credit to my guy Robert. That's the guy that told me like, "Hey, how much would you charge me for the tri-tip?" Um, he came up with a rub that like we just played off of each other, and he ended up making a rub that was really really great, and felt that it complemented the taste of the pulled pork.
Yeah.
So we do it that way. The chicken is all me. Our chicken is very, very different from any other chicken that you're going to have. And one of the biggest reasons is because we use coffee as one of our main ingredients in the rub, along with other stuff that make it taste very unique and very different from any other chicken that you find everywhere. Like specifically, if you go to, you go to any taco stand and you get chicken, and you're gonna get like the same style of chicken everywhere you go. The only difference is honestly whether it's cooked on a flat top, or if it's cooked over mesquite, or if it's cooked over charcoal. And those are the influences in the flavor. So I always said, I'm like, nah, dude, that chicken's got to stand out. It's got to be different. And then what we also do is we incorporate a lot of the taquero style ingredients that you or toppings. So like you have your cilantro, you have your radishes, they're sliced radishes. Obviously, you have your lime. And then where I went a little bit crazy on it is again, I have a very defined palate. I like everything. Your hole in the wall restaurant or little, street tacos, Michelin star restaurants. So we decided to infuse shallots. So we caramelize our shallots in butter, salt, and pepper. And that's what we use to do as a topping into the taco. So like, I don't know how many places you're going to go to where you can find,
There's not a lot of taco spots that use shallots instead of onions.
Yeah, the only place.
So that's what's different as well.
And it also gives you a different flavor profile as well. That just throws everybody off that ever has it. And it's to the point where I think one pop-up that we did, like we talked so much about the damn onions that...
No, I actually showed a video.
Oh, you showed the video, how you made it.
How I made the shallots. And some customers came and like, oh, I'm just here for the shallots. So they like ended up taking almost all of the shallots. They're like, they look so good. I'm like, I'm just here for the shallots.
That's pretty like, I mean, I don't know how you guys felt at that moment, but I'd be like, that's pretty cool where it's like, you have people travel just for the shallots. Like, I love bread. Like, I love bread. I can't bake. I don't have the patience for baking or the fine motor skills or like the way, like, no, I'm good. But like, I'll travel for bread. Like, I love bread. So like, in our group chat, Beard's sister makes sourdough bread with like everything, like jalapeno cheddar, all these different sourdoughs. I'm like, I need a loaf. So like, I'm waiting for him to come back into the chat and be like, hey, she's taking orders because I'm gonna order some damn bread. So in a way, like, it's pretty cool that people are like, hey, I just want the shallots. Like that's crazy.
And so like with that, like, it's a fusion. We're incorporating so many different flavor profiles. And even then too, we also do our salsas. Like, we don't use any barbecue sauces at all, which makes it completely different because like you could see, you could smell, you could kind of tell that it's barbecue, right? And there's no barbecue sauce anywhere near to be found. You have your salsas, and we do 3 different salsas, which is our the green tomatillo based salsa that you could find everywhere. Then you have a red chunky molcajete style, and then obviously the red spicy one that everybody wants.
I'm a big fan of like tomatillo base salsa. So your green one has kind of been on my list of things I want to try. As if like I wouldn't try everything you make. Like, I don't really like onions. It's more of like I don't like the bites, I guess you would say. Because like I like onion rings. I don't know if it's because they're crunchy, but like it takes that bite away. I don't know.
Yeah.
But if you're like Dom, buy it. I'd be like, fuck yeah. Like,
I guarantee Since because I know that you don't like the bite that the onion produces of it, because ours are cooked in butter, and then obviously we salt it, we add pepper to it. They're more of a sweeter
They're sweeter
taste to
onions.
it.
I would try it. So
Yeah.
it's onions are one of those things where I feel like it overwhelms my palate and it
Mhm.
overwhelms what I'm eating. So like I see people just eat straight up like raw onions on burgers. I'm like, to me, it would taste just like an onion at that point, and then I wouldn't eat it. So my
Yeah.
burgers are a little bit more plain. Um, which hot take, I think burgers should be a little bit more plain, but that's just me. We're not talking about burgers. But you described exactly what I have been so fascinated with your food about is I remember I think you told me you don't use barbecue sauce. So I'm like, well, I can't imagine a certain barbecue meats without barbecue sauce.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like I can't like salsa and a brisket to me, I'd be like, what are you doing? But knowing you use a carne asada seasoning, a little bit more traditional Mexican with the lime and everything. Yeah, I'm a little pissed off that I can't just like pull up a plate. Like,
Hey man, we got the shindig coming down, dude. We're gonna get together. We're gonna do something. Well, we'll make sure you get to try some of our food when you're down here, man.
oh thank God, because uh, the one thing I do want to talk about, because I know Ralph's gonna listen. Hopefully, we have to talk about the jalapeno poppers.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Those are his favorites. So, my favorite story to tell about Ralph is he and Raul came to the Minnesota shindig. So they flew in and we went out to eat the night before. Well, when they landed, we went out to eat. We went to a couple hole in the wall places, Runyon's here in Minneapolis, and then we went clubbing and we took him to like a club that played nothing but like white girl music. And I have a picture of Ralph just looking super disappointed, and Raul's just like not there. And the next day, we played golf at like a beautiful golf course in Wisconsin. We crossed that border. They weren't picked up by ice. It was a beautiful day. And after, I'm like, dude, we got to go to this spot. So one of my favorite places is Kramarczek's. And Kramarczek's is a Ukrainian deli. And we're in line. It's a cafeteria style. So you get a tray and you
Mhm.
go, you know, and Raul's like, what are you getting? I'm like, oh, I always get the Reuben here. And he goes, bro, that is the whitest thing ever. And I'm like, dude, look at me. And then look where we are. We're in a Ukrainian deli. And he goes, you're right. So Ralph gets a Reuben. I get a Reuben. I think Raul got a Reuben. And then I remember what everybody else got. And Ralph takes one bite and he goes, yeah, this is good. And I'm like, dude, I told you. He goes, okay. He finishes his sandwich. He's like, okay, I'll be right back. And I'm like, okay. He's probably just going to go to the bathroom, whatever. And he comes back with a pastrami on rye. And it's like that thick.
Oh yeah.
Eats it just without a like whole thing on. And the Reuben itself is that thick. So he eats both. And I'm full just watching him. And he goes, okay, I'll be right back. I'm like, dude's definitely got to go to the bathroom now. And he comes back with like dessert. I'm like, what am I watching right now? He goes, bro, I used to be really fat. I'm like, you're acting really fat right now too. He goes, dude, this is like the best food I've had in a long time. And it's a little Ukrainian deli, Minneapolis, right down the road from Derek's place. I walked there with Beard and Juju. I think Ralph and Raul, yeah, they drove because they went back to the Airbnb to change.
Yeah.
Um, but that story is like my favorite thing because it encompasses Ralph as a person,
Oh yeah.
right? Ralph loved it so much he ate himself to death with it, and then he had to go home and take a nap before the pregame.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no,
I,
they had a
I
hotel.
I have a similar story with Ralph. So when we actually did the podcast with them, we did a little small spread. We ended up cooking up a brisket and we did some jalapeno poppers. And I still remember to this day. I mean, he probably killed, if not half, maybe three quarters of the jalapeno poppers we had made. by himself, and I mean, he was just loving them. He just kept eating them. And then when they got to actually try out the full menu at a pop up, I mean, he had a Warrior burrito. He had probably like 4 tacos. And then I served him up with what we now call a Punisher, which is our jalapeno popper with all 3 of our meats.
Oh, good Lord.
He dusted that off like nothing. And I think he ended up eating like 2 more, if I'm not mistaken. And I was all like, God damn, where the hell are you putting all of this?
Dude, I was like, where are you putting all of this? Because like, I couldn't even. So I have this weird thing, and you guys can say it's weird. I don't care. I've accepted it. That is just kind of who I am and how I am. If I go out to eat, I can't eat everything. I don't know if it's nerves or whatever, but like I have to eat like half of it, and I always take the other half home.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. That's how I am. Don't laugh at me.
I actually do the same because we went to go eat dinner last night, and I couldn't finish it. I don't know if it's I got nervous or I don't know.
That's
I don't
me.
know. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's me just being overstimulated at restaurants where I'm like, oh, I'm done. But then I'll go home and I'll eat the other half. Just like no problem. Just like, oh, I have room. I don't know if it's like nerves or whatever, but yeah, I'm weird. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Because like I think I have people like look at me funny. They're like, you're serious. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm dead serious. Like otherwise I like throw up. And I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah, that's the same with her.
Yeah,
like she'll just eat after a certain point, and it just like triggers her reaction. She starts coughing up, and will eventually throw up her food. So now she like literally like less than half of her plate. She'll just stop and put it away, and then just eat it later on in the day.
I'm like, I'll eat it later. I'm shy.
Is that what it is? Am I shy?
I'm shy.
Line, I'm shy.
I'm shy.
So talk about the jalapeno poppers, because I remember originally you were going to cater the shindig, and I still feel bad that we can't. It's just not budget what we wanted to do, and then the golf course had rules, and we've had to pay you guys, and then the golf course, and we're like, that's a lot. So it would have really taken away from everything we wanted to do. Unfortunately, it was just kind of one of those things.
Yeah.
But when I was talking to Ralph, he's like, bro, he better do jalapeno poppers. I'm like, Ralph, shut up. Walk us through the jalapeno poppers and then walk us through the Punisher, because I just got to hear about them. Like I've heard so many things about them that I just need to hear about what makes them so special.
Well, the beauty of it is you actually have like the person that actually makes them here with us. I'll let my wife take over that because she is the one that makes them.
I make the filling.
Oh, now you end up making the muscle, the majority.
I mean, arguably the filling is the important part, because I could go cook a jalapeno on the grill.
No, I cook up the chorizo, which is pork, and then I add seasonings, and then I add cream cheese, and then I let it cook down for a little bit, and then I stuff the jalapeno poppers with it, and then I wrap it in bacon, and then I put the seasoning on top of it. That way, when it cooks on the smoker, it's crispy, and you get that flavor of the. It's just so delicious. Yeah. And then now we brought in a hot dog. So our hot dog has the jalapeno popper, and it's wrapped in bacon, and it's smoked. And they're so good.
Yeah, we jokingly, you know how our good friend Nelson at Tacos at the Turn, shout out to him.
Shout out Nelson.
Anti-glitzy or glizzy. Well, that's the only glizzy you'll ever have is the one that we make.
Good. No, I love Nelson. I said he had a dry sense of humor once, and I think he took it personally. I'm like, well, like he is a little dry, but like I'm dry too. So like I've always appreciated that with Nelson, is that I'm like, we have the same sense of humor. I'm like, I appreciate that. He was like one of the first people to message me. He's like, bro, you're coming to Burbank, you gotta try this place out. So like I have like a list going of like places I need to try out when I'm over there.
What's your list? We're gonna break up that list because you're talking to food people, so like, we gotta go over this list. Because we might have a couple that we're going to add onto your list.
So it's more right now. I have 2 places to eat so far.
Okay.
And I have a shared list with Ralph. Because Ralph's my chauffeur for the week, which is super cool. Thanks, Ralph. Love you. So Nelson said I got to go to the corner cottage and get the breakfast burrito.
Yep.
But I got to get it with all the meat.
Yep, that's a staple. Be prepared, because that line can get super long.
I'm ready. I'll bring snacks if I have to.
You gotta get there early.
Yeah, and it literally is, the name says it all. It literally is a small little building in a corner lot.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. But they are well known for their breakfast burritos. I've had those breakfast burritos before. Do I prefer other breakfast burritos now that I've been exposed to other ones? Yes, I do prefer different ones, but theirs is a classic and it's good. It's real good.
It's to me, it's one of those things where when someone like Nelson, who built his brand around food, recommends food, I'm gonna go try it. Right. It'd be like if you're like, hey Dom, you gotta go try this barbecue place. I'd be like, well, damn, if David cooks barbecue and he recommends a barbecue place, I gotta go try it. Right. It's not like me telling everybody to go to Taco Bell. It's a little bit different. And then the second place I have so far is Porto's Cafe. I've actually been following them on Instagram, like little cheese things.
Oh yeah, their pan con lechon, bro, is delicious.
I bumped my mic and it screwed everything up. No, we're good. Yeah, I've been following them. I'm like, ooh, that like the cheese looks. I'm just honestly, pastries, bread, and cheese. All I need in life.
Yeah, their cheese rolls. Oh my god, that's like my crack. It's so good, and you can never stop at one.
No, you can't.
So the regular jalapeno popper has the bacon and the chorizo.
Yeah.
What does the Punisher have?
So the Punisher is the taco version of it. So it has become layers of it because you have the Punisher and then you also have the Warrior Burrito. So the Punisher is basically it's our tortilla. We throw in the jalapeno popper, and I'll do a scoop of the brisket, the scoop of the pork, and a scoop of the chicken. And that's all in the taco. Literally, this thing is freaking huge. Then we decided to take it up another notch, and that's when we created the Warrior Burrito, which is now we're using 11-inch, flour tortilla.
Mm-hmm.
That we do 2 jalapeno poppers, and then a full scoop of the chicken, the pork, and the brisket.
So the Warrior Burrito is just a bigger Punisher.
Yeah, way bigger Punisher.
Good Lord! And Ralph ate that.
Yeah, Ralph ate a burrito, and he still had tacos, and then he still had a Punisher after that.
Where does he put everything?
I don't know.
I have no clue. I mean, on my best day that I ever did is I think I had a Warrior Burrito, I had a Punisher, I did a Killer, and then I did a pork taco. And then the Killer is basically just a taco with all 3 of our meats.
That sounds good too.
Yeah.
They're a survivor.
Oh, and then our Survivor. So everything that we do, we love to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever get a chance and you're in the city when we're doing our pop-ups, we like to have fun. We like to make it a good time. We like to have fun with our customers. We like to immerse ourselves with our customers. All of our pop-ups open up with a beer toast, literally. I'm a big Corona Familiar guy. I always have Corona Familiar in my fridge, and that's literally how we open up. We do a toast with the team, and we invite and we open our doors for everybody. And that's just tradition now at this point. And we have to start our opening. We cannot serve a customer unless we do that opening toast. And it's to the point now that we actually have our customers that get involved and they'll toast the beer with us
If they arrive
if they arrive early or if they want to join in on the opening. And so we've always done that. Like the killer was actually named on our first pop-up that we did. We asked everybody in the crowd because a lot of people stayed afterwards since we had sold out. And we asked us like, well, who drove the furthest from us? And it was ended up being somebody that drove about an hour and 30 minutes away.
Jeez.
And we told them, okay, like here in California, every taco stand that sells street tacos always has that one crazy dish that incorporates almost every protein that they have, and they throw it all in a taco, and they usually have like a clever name to it. And so we told them, like, okay, well, since you're the one that drove the furthest, you get the naming rights. Like, you get to call, our version of that. And they ended up calling it the Killer Taco. And so I'm like, all right, killer it is. And that's what we stuck with it. And then after that one day, everybody loved the idea of the killer and started ordering it. And it got to the point where we ran out of one of the meats, so we couldn't sell the killer taco anymore. So we're like, well, give me whatever you have. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, just call it the Survivor. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. It's a Survivor now. And then that's usually what we do. And then from there, one of my cousins, day one supporter. And he was in there. He would always usually be the first one there. Would order his food, sit down, eat, hang out with us, chill, shoot the shit, have fun with us, talk to family that would show up and support us as well. Make friends with actual customers too, because he was always there at every pop-up. And he was the one that kind of inspired me to do the Punisher. So we brought out the jalapeno poppers on that pop-up, and I just said, I wonder what it would taste like if I threw in all the meats on top of that.
Yeah.
And so I basically served it the way I would eat it. So I did the jalapeno popper. I did all three meats. I did the shallots. I did the green tomatillo salsa and the chunky red salsa, some cilantro, and put some lime on it, and took it to him. And I told him, here, try this out. Let me know what you think. And the whole time, as he takes a bite into it, and I just see his facial expressions. And I see him just like light up, like fucking, like, the Ave Maria song playing in the background as he's biting into it. And he looks at me, he's like, bro. And I'm like, is it good? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, all right, you like it? He's like, yeah. I'm like, name it. And he's all like, dude, Punisher. It has to be the Punisher. And I'm like, all right, fuck it, it's the Punisher. That's what it is. And so that's what we always go for. We always try to do that vibe with every pop-up. Like, we want it to feel like you're hanging around family. And that's, I think, what also sets us apart. It's like you want to be around us. You want to hang out with us. You want to come try out the food. And I feel like that has helped us out a lot. That even for us, like, the craziest story that we have is it was pouring down cats and dogs. Like, it was pouring down. The day that we're setting up, because like we do everything out of our front yard. We set up our food. We set up tents. We set up tables, chairs, so that people could come in and eat there as well. And as we're setting up, we're like having to take breaks because it's fucking coming down hard with rain and wind. And I looked at Eva and I'm all like, babe, I think we fucked up. Like, we should have just canceled this pop-up. Like, I don't want to get stuck with all this food. And, all of our customers, they showed up and they were like braving the elements. They were sitting down. They were like all huddled up under the canopies trying to stay dry. And it got to the point where the winds were so bad, it actually broke one of the canopies.
Oh, no.
And you just see everybody stand up, everybody's jumping in together to put the canopy, holding onto corners, grabbing whatever they can find. Like, my dad's like on freaking mission control, looking through the garage, whatever he could put together to like basically put the tent back up together. And everybody was happy. Nobody was complaining. Nobody bitched. Nobody, nothing. Everybody was just having a great time.
Yeah.
And we actually sold out. And that's actually one of the days that Raul got to come out to that one. Nelson was there at that one too as well. And I was just like amazed that, like, that showed us that we were onto something, that we were really doing something good.
So I've heard that story. I don't know where. That might have been like one I picked up from you, or maybe there's a reel about it. I don't know. I heard that story. And that is, to me, that's the beauty of food, is it brings people together, rain or shine. Obviously, it doesn't really snow where you guys are, but like snow in my case, it doesn't matter. If the food's good, the company's good, the atmosphere's good, people are going to show up.
Yes.
And that is so unique to food. And I think it doesn't matter what kind of food it is, barbecue, tacos, bread. I'd show up for bread in the rain. um, it brings people together. And that is what is so, I think, significantly different about what you guys are doing, is it's at home. You're opening up your home essentially to strangers for the love of the food. And it's like, that's so unique. And clearly people are going to brave the wind, the rain. It's got to be pretty good. And now I'm really jealous, because I feel like no story is going to satisfy me until I try it. So thank God I'm spending a week out there. To be honest, that's a big reason I'm coming before everybody else, is I wanted to eat and I wanted to try your food. I want to try all these places that people recommend. And um, I'm just so excited to just eat. And I think that's so unique to food versus anything else in the world. Because food doesn't care. It's just there, right? It's there. You could eat. It's not divisive. That being said, I don't like tomatoes, so like chunky salsa I'm not a fan of, but like smooth salsas,
Don't worry, dude.
every day of the week.
I'm not a big tomato person myself. The way it's not, it's passable for me. I'm very picky eater, and I think that's one of the reasons too why I kind of like the way that we do stuff. If it's big chunks of tomato, I will not eat it. I shy away from it. But we do such a great job, or my suegra does a great job as far as making the salsas where it's, it's there, but you don't taste the chunkiness, or you don't feel that texture. Like for me, I'm a big textures guy, just like you are. And just feeling that tomato for me, that just gives me the irks. And I'm like, it won't do good for me. And the way she does it, and she makes sure that she does it small enough where you won't notice it. So like I would still give it a try out when you do get a chance to taste it. Yeah. But like for us, like I'm a real big texture person too as well. So I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. And like, it's not a taste thing. Like there's a lot of things I really like the taste of, but like do not like the texture. So my whole family, we're from up north Minnesota. We call it the range. Anything past Duluth is the range. So for all my Minnesotans, you understand it. But for all you Minnesotans who think the Duluth is the range, you're wrong. Shut up. So up north, there's this thing called ham salad, and my dad loves it. It's like chopped up ham, cherry tomatoes, and then like stuff. It makes it so it's spreadable, essentially. It's spreadable ham, something about like that. Really good taste. Oh my God, the texture is terrifying to me. So whenever he brings it home, I'm like, I'll just try it again. I like the taste, I like the smell, but my God, that spreadable ham scares the shit out of me.
Interesting.
That sounds interesting, actually.
Yeah. And then my family, we are very Scandinavian, is putting it lightly. I'm like 40% Finnish, which is, kind of explains a lot. We have lutefisk every Christmas, and lutefisk is about horrendous as you can get. And if you don't know what it is, I'll break it down. Don't worry. It's
I was like, what is it?
So it's fish. It's dried cod. So you dry out this cod and then you soak it in lye, and lye is poison. So then it reconcentrates, you bake it, you put a white sauce on it, but the cod essentially turns into like a fish jello.
You.
Old people
You lost me there, buddy.
Yeah, no, that's where it lost me. I've tried it once and I'll never do it again. Old people love the shit.
Oh,
I have a ham and not spreadable ham, just a straight up ham. And it is terrifying. But again, I don't love the food, but I love that it's my family. And it's normally around Christmas. So it's normally Christmas Eve. It brings us together regardless of the food. I'm not touching lutefisk ever. It it's pretty bad. I don't love it. My grandmother loves it. I'm like, you do you, grandma. I ain't touching it. But it brings people together regardless. So you guys have talked about your pop-ups and everything. How often do you guys cater, or do you cater outside of like golf stuff?
We do cater. We do have a couple set clients that we've now established. We've done company lunches. We've done
I want
a
to
lot
work for that
of
company.
Holiday
holiday parties. We've done a couple of those. We've done. We have a Halloween party under our belt. We have pool parties to be interesting.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, we actually got asked to cater a pool party once, and I'm like, I thought that was very, very different, but we ended up having a blast.
It's got to be like that's got to be a California thing. Like
Oh,
that's
Yeah.
more than likely.
yeah. No, I don't think we do that here. That's a California thing.
We done
A
Super
baby
Bowl.
shower as well. Oh, a Super Bowl party. That one was funny too.
Super Bowl Sunday, right?
Yeah, it was a Super Bowl.
Yes.
It was not this year that just passed, but the one right before it.
Last year's.
Last year's.
Oh, we don't want to talk about last year's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? Because they won.
No, because my team lost.
Was it the San Francisco game? Oh yeah, you're right. It was.
Yeah. Yeah, no, my team lost. I was not thrilled. And the worst part is, so um I'm like, oh my God, they scored. Like, let's go. In overtime, I'm like, they're gonna stop them. The worst part is there's a delay on the TV. I got the ESPN notification that the Chiefs scored before they scored on TV.
Oh, that sucks.
So I was like, I looked at my phone and I'm like, damn it. And then I watched it and I'm like, double damn it. And then I went to bed really sad. And then on top of it, I had to wake up the next morning and drive my dad to the airport.
Oh, yeah. See, I had a very interesting Super Bowl catering experience. So obviously, everybody in my family knows I cook, and
I would hope so.
For the past 3 years, it was always like, oh, we're gonna watch the Super Bowl at David's house. Why? Because he's gonna make something, and we're all gonna love his food and whatever. And like we always like to. Me and my wife always say "La chingas pa nosotros," which basically translates to like we're the ones that get end up fucked over and having to do everything. Like we're cleaning the house, we're cooking, we're doing everything, and then we got to put everything away and clean everything afterwards. Mm-hmm. And I looked at my dad, I looked at my mom, I looked at my wife, and I told her, I am not cooking for the Super Bowl. I want to watch this game. And she's like, okay, like we're just going to tell people we're not cooking. And like about a week before the Super Bowl, I was at work and my wife texted me. She's like, hey, I know that you didn't want to cook, but my friends are asking if we can cater their Super Bowl party. And I'm all like, I don't want to do anything. I wanted to watch the game. And she's like, they're asking. And I'm like, they want to know how much we would charge. And I'm like, well, you have our app, that we use to get pricing. She was like, I know, but I don't want to give them the price because I know that you don't want to cook. And I'm like, all right, just bump it up a certain percentage. I'm like, if they're gonna make me cook, then I'm gonna get paid for it, right?
I was gonna say that's when you give them some like outlandish number to where it either really benefits you or it really is like, that I don't have to cook now.
Yeah, and it backfired on me. They're like, they want to do it. I'm like, oh, okay. So now I'm like, all right, now I have to like train my mind in a way so that I can actually go through with it and be like, enjoy it. And I'm like, I am now getting paid to watch the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it ended up being. And it's like towards the end, I'm like, at the end of the day, like
We had fun.
we had fun. The crowd that we ended up catering for, they're real cool people. We had catered for them before. And we just ended up having a blast at the end of the day. But that was that was a fun little experience that we got to do. We've also done a baby shower, which was pretty interesting because we drove about an hour south of us towards Anaheim, which is predominantly more white communities.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, probably, no, there was actually a Latino that was in the crowd that time, but like, they're all like, they look at us, we show up, we set up, and then I do this on purpose. I've always done this on purpose, and there's a little thing that we do when we do catering for like a special event or anything. We always ask, what time do you want us to start serving the food? You give me a time, and we always show up at least an hour earlier to get everything set up. And we've become so efficient that we're literally set up in 10, 15 minutes. And it's just a matter of getting our food warm enough so that people can start enjoying it. Mm-hmm. And as we start warming it up, like we'll purposely like start opening up the lids little by little so that you start to get the smell. And we always end up having to serve a lot earlier than they wanted to, because at that point the guests are so hungry because they're just smelling the food. And we've done that a couple of times. And even on the Halloween party that we did, it was just like, we did a time lapse of it, and you just literally see us serve as fast as we can get tortillas warm. We're just cranking out tacos left and right. And I felt what ended up being like maybe a 1 minute long time lapse video, but that actually turned out to be almost 2 hours straight of serving people at a Halloween party. And like, it's crazy because like you see all the people coming up the line, and then like you can see their outfits that they're wearing, and they're just like, and it ended up being real cool. Something that I never got to really like experience. And then when I look back at the footage that we recorded, we're like, oh shit, like damn. Like you just see us like little ants running around back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah, I never would have thought to cater a Halloween party, have a Halloween party catered.
Mm-hmm.
Now I just want everything catered.
There you go. Yeah, we've done graduation party. That was another one that was cool too. Did? Yeah, Josh's graduation.
Oh yeah, graduation party. I've done so many, I don't even know.
It's a good thing though, right? Like keeps you busy, keeps the money going. Clearly, you guys like it as well.
Sometimes
depends on the day, right? Like I can't imagine the rain ones are super fun, but. You know, it is what it is. You know, you seem to like it sometimes, like 90% of the time.
Oh yeah, we like it. So obviously, it's hard work. Because of the job that I have a second shift, which is like going at 3:30 p.m. to midnight. Mm-hmm. So I'm very limited on how much neat things I could do when I'm awake mm-hmm. to start getting prepped for like our pop-ups. So it's just like learning to adapt to it. So literally the day of the pop-up, it's as we get closer to the time of when we're about to open, it's like, dude, we're dead tired. We're just sleepy. We're like just sore from having to do so much things. But like once we get into the actual part of like serving customers, and we get to have those genuine interactions with our guests or customers that we have, where it's like, we have had a customer that has now been come out to the last two pop-ups, and he's all like, oh, we've been waiting all month for this. Like we literally just keep watching your stories. So when you guys are going to post up, when you guys are going to be doing the pop-up, and we've been excited. We want to try this, or like we have family waiting at the house that are wanting and are eager to try your food. And like they're getting their to-go orders, and like that just makes it worth it for us at the end of the day.
We're gonna start a new item.
Yeah, we'll mention it too.
Okay. So when you guys start shipping food, let me know.
Yeah, well, we might have to look into that because I know you're not the only one that has asked us that.
I might be the furthest one away, but like, let me know
I think it's
because
a way. Like
I'm
if you
sure.
buy like a little cooler, just put everything in there.
No.
probably. Um, so one of the last things I want to ask, without giving away any of your guys' like secrets or whatever, my dad and I have a small brisket in the freezer. We want to try one, but we didn't want to get a big one and screw it up, because then all of a sudden we're out like $80, and then it's like, great, this sucks. Um, we've never smoked a brisket. We've smoked like pork loins, very basic, right? We have a Traeger. Um, what advice would you give to like someone just starting out in the smoking, or for us with this brisket, we just want it to taste good and not like dry it out. Obviously, there's different variables, right? Weight, how lean it is, XYZ. But what would be like just some general advice for guys or women, people who just want to start smoking meats, barbecue, whatever?
First, start with a good rub. A good rub that's gonna make your brisket taste good.
Yeah.
Start with the good rub, good seasoning.
Your basics is gonna be salt, pepper. Add garlic powder. Add onion powder. You can always go a little bit stronger on the pepper. A lot of it, you need that bark. You need that flavor profile. Trimming it is another big factor. You want to make sure that you're trimming enough fat, the bad fat. Obviously, in briskets, the more fat you leave in there, the more juicier and tender and moist it's going to come out. So when you're trimming it, as you get a brisket, and you can actually look through what's the greatest things that we started doing, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to recommend you to actually look at our videos of how we prep our brisket.
Okay.
That's one of the biggest reasons why we started to do that, where it's like people that are not from California or not Southern California and aren't able to come out to our pop-ups. I don't give you all of my ingredients that I use, but I do teach you or show you how I prep everything. So watch the video. It'll show you how much I trim off of it. I tend to leave a lot more of the fat on there because I render it out and I cook it at such a longer period of time that I'm able to get away with it. But basic rule of thumb, if you have a lot of the white fat stuff, if it's hard, take that off. You want it to be soft. All the fat that you leave, it has to be soft. If it's really hard and compacted, cut that off. Get rid of it. You could use a mustard binder if you like mustard, even though you really don't taste it out because a lot of it gets burned off. But we use an oil binder on all of our briskets. So oil, get your rub down, go heavy on the rub. Trust me, because you want that flavor to be in there. If you wanted to add another type of rub on there to give you a distinctive flavor, then that's on your choice. Based on your preference. Like if you have a specific seasoning that you love to use on your steak, throw that on
there. The part that scared me was trimming it, right? Because like I've watched it on TV and they're like, yeah, you just cut it. And I'm like, what are you cutting? Like, what if I cut too much off? You can't just like stitch it back on. Well, I mean, maybe you cut, I don't know. Like that surprise always freaked us out. So maybe when we do it, I'll watch the videos. If I have questions, luckily I can just text you.
Oh yeah, definitely. You could even are you well no, we could do a Zoom call because I think you're Android, right? If I'm not mistaken. Oh yeah, I was gonna say just FaceTime us.
Yeah, no, I won't be FaceTiming. I think we could. I don't know how. I've never done it. Not like if people video call me, I get kind of weirded out. I don't know. I don't really know how to respond. Maybe it's because I don't have an iPhone, which is probably for the better. I don't know. I like technology too much to settle for an iPhone. I'm one of those people. As PlayStation, I have an Xbox right here. I like technology. I think it's important. But no, that's useful. And that's something I really do like your step-by-step videos. That is something that I find myself watching.
Yeah.
And I remember you were saying, oh, yeah, we're uploading this one. And I'm like, hurry up. Because I'm already like ready for the next part. Because even if I'm
I'll
not,
get on there faster.
yeah, like even if I'm not cooking or whatever, I still enjoy it because I think it is a really unique perspective when
Yeah.
people break down how they, cook food, how they prepare it. It's still entertaining to me. It's like watching people do unboxings. I could have the same product, but I'm still going to enjoy it. Like
Yeah.
that's kind of why I wanted to do one for our speakers and, XYZ. I just posted one before we got on with Buena Gente.
I actually just saw it this morning too.
Yeah, no, I just posted that, and I've seen people do it, but it's like I enjoy doing it and I enjoy making it, so I enjoy watching it. So, um, that's really helpful. I'm gonna watch that video. I should figure out when we're gonna do it. It's not a very big one either, which is nice. That way if we fuck it up, it's not like $1 billion.
And then next thing too is I'm gonna tell you, you want to keep it real simple for yourself. Cook it at a low temperature. I cook everything at 225.
Okay.
225. Depending on the size of it, if you're saying it's not too big, which is probably going to be maybe a 10 or 12 pounder.
That sounds right.
Realistically speaking, if you're cooking it at 225, I would probably check it at the 8 hour mark, and your temperature should be reading out maybe 160, 160, 165, maybe 170. And what I'm gonna tell you is you've probably heard the term because you like to cook and you're interested in all that good stuff. And you're gonna be in the stall. Do not freak out. It will take once you reach the stall. I don't know why it does this. I know there's an actual explanation of what the process is. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but it's basically everything is being rendered down, and therefore, because it's being rendered, it's not warming up or increasing the temperature.
Okay.
So that's just basically you're gonna reach a stall, and I kid you not, you're probably gonna push 2 hours where your temperature reading is not gonna go up. It's gonna stay there. Do not freak out. Just let it be. Trust the process, and eventually the temperature will start to go up. Biggest advice I'm going to tell you: once you get to like about 199, 190, 195 temperature wise, get a thermostat, a good thermostat.
Mm-hmm.
Check it. Now, I'm pretty sure you've ever heard the probe tender.
Mm-hmm.
If you're struggling to push the probe in, it's not ready.
Okay.
It could be 200 degrees and it'd still be tough as hell to put the probe in. Let it cook more. The moment that probe slides in like nothing and comes right out like nothing, that's when you pull it.
Got it. Okay. Little tricks of the trade.
Yeah. And then I can make this real complicated for you, but I'm just gonna keep it simple. It's up to you whether you want to take it out and wrap it. But if it's your first one, keep it as simple as possible. And then start to learning all your other advanced techniques. Like for me, one of the ones that I do, like, because we chop our brisket and we serve it in a taco, I don't wrap my briskets. I will let them cook, and that way I get that hard bark, which kind of gives you like a little bit more of a texture thing too. Because now you're getting like that chicharron taste to it, or like that the hardness and the crunchiness. Versus traditional briskets are usually real soft.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to find a day. Well, we gotta let it thaw. So we're gonna have to find a couple days.
Yeah.
To do it. I'll have to watch your videos.
Or you could do the traditional way to unfreeze a piece of meat. Run it under water.
Yeah.
Water.
Yeah. Or we could just let it do its thing naturally.
Yeah, you can do that too.
I'm one of those people. Just I'm not in a rush to do things. So
there you go. Yeah, be prepared, man, because I think it's gonna take a while. And just trust the.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's very much just set it, forget it, watch movies, watch TV, go do something, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
it's easier now that it's nice out and we're not buried in like 8 feet of snow.
Yes.
Even though it did snow 8 inches last week
Ugh.
overnight. I drive home in it. And it was a ton of fun. You guys mentioned a new album.
Yes. So we've taken a break this year as far as pop up goes with everything political happening in the United States. But we will be back April 5th. Earlier in the year, we did a trial run of what is now going to be pulled pork al pastor.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And tell me about this.
Yeah, we also did basically it's a charred pineapple salsa to go along with that pulled pork al pastor. We did a test run of it and we ended up liking it. And that's actually one of the things that we do. Before we did our first pop up, we did a test run. We invited close friends and family, a couple of owners of street taco vendors that are out here in California that I personally know, a couple of business owners, and we did basically a test kitchen where we basically invited everybody over. We had our set menu that we originally started with, and we let them try it. Had them come over, had some drinks, had a conversation, and we basically did our test kitchen with them. And we asked them, it's like, you know what, this is something that we want to do. Obviously, you guys are getting first taste of everything that we're going to be doing. And we're open to suggestions, we're open to feedback, input. And that kind of like helped us out a lot and kind of basically increased the word of mouth. A lot of those people that were there for the test kitchen were there on their first pop-up, and they were bringing their friends, they were bringing their family, and that kind of set us up for what was a successful very first pop-up. And so now every time that we've added a new menu item, we have now taken that exact same thing. Where the jalapeno poppers, when we first tried them out, we did them ourselves. We tried them out. We all loved it, and immediately were added onto the menu. That was like a no questions asked. Last year for 4th of July is when I came up with the idea of our hot dog, or what we call the war dog, where it's a jalapeno popper with a hot dog strapped on top of it, and then wrapped in bacon and smoked for 2 hours. And it became a staple because a lot of people, we offered it as a pre-order only, and we said we were going to do a limited number, and within 2 hours that they were sold already. So we had to basically add more to our pre-order, and even then after that, when we finally opened, I only had 4 left to be able to sell. And before I even opened, they were already sold out. So that's one of the things that we've done, and that's the reason too why we did our test run on the al pastor pulled pork. And like, we all loved it. Everybody loved it. My dad's very picky to the point that he came back and was getting seconds, thirds, and was still asking for some the following day.
So grilled pineapple is one of my favorite things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things where like not many places do it around here. So you haven't had grilled pineapple, underrated. Like, you get the caramelization of the sugars in the pineapple. It gets a little sweeter, but then you get a little like of that char on it. I'm so jealous. And I know you're experimenting with La Cheve in, I think it was pork or chicken. I don't remember.
We did it. So we've done it.
That's what it was. Yeah.
2 things. We've done it on picanha and a carne asada. It was a ranchera, which is skirt steak, and then picanha would be what, Angus roast.
I don't know.
If you've ever been to a Brazilian steakhouse, that's the really famous one that everybody likes to have, which is like, you'll see it on the sword, and it's like bent, and you see like the fat layer cap on the top.
Yeah, I've had that.
Yeah, so we did La Cheve with that one, and then Raul and Ralph got to try it. Although I kind of feel bad for Ralph because Ralph kind of got the one that didn't get a lot of the marinade on it. Raul's was the one that had all of the marinade.
How it always goes. It's always Raul. Raul gets the best stuff.
Yeah, and
Bro
so
has the freaking Paris dunks. Has everything on it. Has a swag head cover collection and gets the better carne asada. Like, yeah, it sounds like Raul.
well, I got something for you, Dom. Like, give me a second. Let me get it.
Should I be scared?
No.
Okay.
So,
I mean, not that like it can physically do anything to me. Like,
so when you come down here, I know that the boys have been talking about doing a carne asada with you guys.
yeah.
I have this one saved, and I've been saving it for when you come down here so that you could try the marinade that I'm gonna use the cheve with.
I love that stuff. I've talked about it so much that my parents are like, "Can you bring some back?" I'm like, "I don't think so. I don't know if the airlines would let us or like if the pressurization or anything would like hurt the can, but like I might try. I don't know."
And this is funny because this is the one can that actually survived. Again, my friend, my partner, Robert, he drove to the Blue Fire.
Mm.
He came back with, I think it was a total of 11 cans of La Cheve and a bunch of other ones. And it's to the point that, that they called Raul and Ralph and they asked him, I was like, hey, do you know somebody from like that just came in and bought a bunch of them? And they're like, they asked me, it's like, hey, did you send somebody? I'm like, yeah, that was my buddy. and that's actually the last remaining can of that trip. So trust me, it's been killing me because I would just love to be able to open it and drink it and enjoy it, especially now that the weather's turning and it's going to be a lot warmer. But yeah, this one's being saved for you guys so that we could get a little marinade on a little carne asada.
Let's do it.
Figure out what day you want to do it, and we'll get that done and taken care of, man. I told you, man, when you come out here, you're gonna get treated like family because you're considered family to us, brother.
I'm putting on like 40 pounds. You have to wheel me out of places at this point, like because basically, so with the whole planning process, we're like, well, what do we want to do after the event? And I'm like, I don't know about you guys, but like Raul said carne asada. So if you can't find me, get a hold of Ralph or Raul because I guarantee I'll be around them. So
and Raul isn't too far from me, and I know where he's at, so I know where to find you.
Oh yeah, I'm like, if you guys can't find me, ask the Gulf Arrows. They'll figure it out. So like, I'm excited, and it's gonna be one of those trips where it's like I'm not gonna want to leave, but like I'm already coming out earlier than I had planned. So I'm hoping that kind of makes up for everything. But I'm also like not gonna want to leave, which is an issue because I can't afford to live in California.
Yeah, we're not. It's not a place to stay.
I can barely afford to live in Minnesota. But we gotta wrap this up because I'm gonna get hangry here pretty soon. Obviously, David, you listen to every episode. I feel like it'd be wrong to not do rapid fire questions. Do I have them written down? Not at all, because that's not how I do things.
Now the question is, are you gonna hit me with stuff I've never heard before, or are you gonna keep it the same?
I don't know. Because we've done 160 some episodes of this. I don't know what I said on episode 1. Other than on episode 2, we were singing the Bee Gees. That's the only thing I remember from the really early ones. And that was because it was CPR and The Office related.
Yeah.
So rapid fire, we're doing these quick because I'm hungry now and I want to go eat. You okay?
Yes. I got nervous. Just kidding.
So
this is coming back.
There's a couple things I've been sitting here and I'm like, I wonder what it would be like. So when you're golfing, what is your go-to golf course snack? Whether you bring it or you buy it.
So for me, there's 2 snacks that I always keep, or 3 now that I keep going back to. I'm a big grandma's cookies type of guy. So the little grandma's cookies, the vanilla little sandwich cookies.
Oh, like the Milano cookies.
Actually, I have one that I could show you so that you can see. This one.
Okay, never heard of them. I thought you were just describing something grandmas might have.
Oh no, so it's this one. We just found at the local night markets. There's this lady that does tamarindo gummies.
Okay.
That have tahini on them. Oh, so good.
No, it's not tahini. It's just sugar.
Or sugar?
It's just sugar.
Either way, that's pretty good. And then I am a big fan of the, what is it? The peach rings.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like my go-to snack. Lately, it's been the tamarindo ones just because it goes perfect with the beer.
One of my favorite, I actually have some next to me because I just pulled them out of my golf bag. I don't know if they're good anymore. Probably shouldn't eat them, but I'm going to bust them up to figure it out. But these like honey stinger energy chews. So this one is fruit smoothie. It's got 3 different flavors in it. These are good. They're sweet, they're like gummies, but then you get like some energy, some carbs, stuff like that in them. These are good, and it's like 2 servings per. As in, I'm going to eat the whole thing regardless.
Right.
These are good. I hate sharing. It's not my thing. Derek's just like peanut M&Ms or a hot dog. He's very basic. I'm like, whatever. I'd always pictured you being like, hey guys, I got like leftover carne asada, and you just dig it in on the golf course in between holes. Because that's what I would do. If I had leftover pork or whatever, I'd be out there in between holes, just like, hey, fuck you guys. I'm eating.
So, when we first started doing the pop-ups, and I had just started playing golf, obviously, when I first started doing our pop-ups. And there was one time where we had our pop-up on Saturday, and then on Sunday I had a tea time. That's where the whole breakfast burrito idea came into play, because we still had brisket left over and we had some jalapeno poppers. And so what we did is like, I wanted a breakfast burrito, and I woke up earlier than I should have. And I probably should have not gone golfing because, dude, I was tired and sore as hell from doing the pop-up. But I started thinking, I'm like, okay, what do I want in a breakfast burrito? And my wife was sleeping, and I woke her ass up. I'm like, babe, get up. She's like, what? And I'm like, can you make me a pancake? And she's like, you want pancakes? And I'm like, yeah, but just make me one. And she's all like, why? And I'm like, just make it. Trust me. Mm-hmm. And she's like, okay, how do you want your pancake? I'm like, extra butter and extra syrup.
Syrupy.
And she's all like, oh, whatever. So she starts making it, and I set up right next to her, and I start cooking up eggs or shallots. And then I add a couple of scoops of the brisket. Mm-hmm. And she looks at me, she's like, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, I want to make a breakfast burrito. And she's all like, a breakfast burrito? I'm like, what do you want a pancake for? And I'm like, I'm going to throw the pancake into the breakfast burrito. And she's all like, the fuck? All right, whatever. It's your food, right? So she finishes her pancake. I pull out the mixture of the egg, the shallots, and the brisket. And then I go and I grab a jalapeno popper and I warm it up in the pan. And she looks at me. She's like, you're going to throw that in there too? And I'm like, yeah. And she's all like, that's just weird. And I'm like, let me be. So I started assembling together, and I'm like, I'm missing the spice. So I take out some of the green salsa, throw it on there, and I wrap it up. I cut it in half, and I take a bite out of it. And I'm like, holy crap, like this is the perfect bite. And she's all like, no, it can't be that great. So she grabs the other half and she bites into it, and she's like, oh shit, this is good. And we're all like, I'm like, okay, cool. Like that's what I ended up making another one, and I took it with me to go play golf. But yeah, that's the only time I've ever done that, actually.
I mean, I get I see the vision. It's sweet, it's spicy, it's salty, and then the syrup kind of cuts everything. Mm-hmm. I see the vision. I thought pancake was going to be like So like burrito wrap, like you're gonna wrap everything in the pancake, and then you said you're putting it in it, and I was like, oh shit, there's still a tortilla, which is even better.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. We really got to wrap this up because I'm gonna get flabby. Um, so one of my favorite things to ask everybody, and you know it's coming. What is your walk-up song?
I'm laughing because I kind of prepped Eva for that question. And when you hear her song, you're gonna get a good laugh, and it's all gonna get tied in with what we've talked about earlier.
Okay.
For me, it depends on my mood. Honestly, I could go two ways. There's two songs that I would use. I've been a big EDM guy.
Okay.
And so for me, I like Boom from Tiesto.
Mm.
But I'm also, there is a specific section of this song from Los Fabulosos Cadillacs. And the song is called Matador. So it has like a little, kind of like a build up towards the end of the song. There's a build up of like a percussion. And it's almost resembling like if someone's marching.
Okay.
So it has like that slow little
it's kind of like the slow build.
Yeah, with drums. And it goes into like a trumpet section into it. So like that to me, I idealize as like the perfect walk-up song. You start walking out towards the T, and right when the whole band kicks in, it's like that's when you're swinging off and you're teeing off.
Okay.
That would probably be my walk-up song.
I think that's the most thought-filled answer we've gotten, where somebody was like, "Oh, it's this specific part because of X, Y, Z." Okay, I see the vision. I'll have to listen to it, see if I catch it.
Yeah, and then Eva's song is hilarious.
For me, since we're also big Disney fans, there's this song that's always in my mind. It's called Nothing Can Stop Us Now. And it's based on the Mickey and Minnie Runaway Railway at Disneyland. And if you just listen to the lyrics, you're like about to like golf, like nothing can stop us now, or on our, like that. So it's like, that kind of pumps me up.
Okay. I've never been to Disneyland. I've only ever been to Disney World. But I'll have to find it and like give it a shot.
Yeah.
I mean, I think one of the things we want to do is hit Disneyland, just since I've never been there. And I know the Golferos are big Disney guys, other than Raul. Which I can't picture Ralph with Mickey ears on, but I'm giving it a shot and get him some Mickey ears.
Yeah, he's a big Disneyland person like us.
What was Sergio?
I don't know.
Is he?
That's what, yeah, dude. I guess Serge is pumped to go to Disneyland with us.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't either. I may have said that Sergio is my favorite Golfero just because like I wanted to like give Ralph and Raul shit, and like they took it personally. And I'm like, I've said like 3 words to Sergio, and Sergio's quiet. He doesn't talk much. He doesn't like to be on camera. And I'm like, hell yeah, that's awesome. He's my favorite. So yeah, he couldn't make it to the shindig because obviously that was when all the Microsoft outages were happening. Like we woke up and we're like, what do you mean all these flights are being canceled and blah blah blah. So Sergio's was affected. Sergio, such a real like good dude. He spent all day at LAX trying to get out to Minnesota.
Oh wow.
Like his entire day. So he calls us as we're at the brewery the night of, and he's like, bro, I've been here all day. Like all day. He tried to get out to the event with just to support us.
Yeah.
And I talked to him like, dude, like if you don't make it, it's fine. Like at this point, you're not going to make it. He's like, bro, the next flight out of LAX to MSP is like 4 days away. And I'm like, well, we're not having a 4-day event. I hate to break it to you. Like it is what it is. So that's always kind of stuck with me. Just like the determination he had and just the want to come out to support obviously Ralph and Raul, but Derek and I and everybody else I thought was incredible. especially since he's the one I've talked to like the least amount, other than Hector. Hector I've only ever talked to on Zoom during the pods, but it's because Hector, I guess Hector's Hector. I've heard stories. Uh, I'm sure. I mean, I like Hector. I've never met him in person though. I'm sure I can only imagine how much of a riot he is in person.
Yeah, he's a critical person.
Yeah, he's fun. Like we've been fortunate to get to actually meet Hector a couple times.
Mhm.
And he's come out to a pop up. He's come out to a pop up. He's actually been here to one of the only Ghost Fellows to actually get to try the breakfast burrito.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't know why it's always worked out that way, but it's like one of them has. I don't think Raul's tried the Warrior burrito. I know that Sergio and Ralph have tried the Warrior burrito, but Hector's the only one that's had the breakfast burrito yet. First, yeah,
And it's Hector of all people. Like,
right.
he's like the hardest one to get a hold of.
Yeah.
Last question. This is one that I've been really excited to ask. Coming out in May, breakfast, lunch, dinner. Where are we going? Other than say you don't have to cook this day. So you don't have to cook anything. So we're not eating any of your food. You get to enjoy the food as well. Where are we going for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? And you're not cooking, so don't say your house.
Okay. So I actually had two prepared answers for you. I would have one where we go out, and if I did cook, what I would make you.
So let's do the going out first.
The going out first. Okay. So I'm going to mix this question up a little bit about you because I'm going to incorporate your other favorite question, your last meal. So we're gonna be big bags on this one, bro.
Okay.
So for breakfast.
So I recently learned that that's like an endearing term and not like a slur. I thought it was a slur for a hot minute.
No, big bags mean is like we're going all out and we're gonna enjoy our meals. That's what a big bag is. So like that's what I take it. So for me, there's this new breakfast burrito that I've just tried. I have shown it on the group chat that we have.
Okay.
And ever since I had it, I just keep going back to it. And it's going to be a breakfast chilaquiles with carnitas burrito.
Jeez.
So you have the way how he makes it. It's rice, a red salsa. Then you have the green chilaquiles.
Mm-hmm.
You have your over medium egg. They put rice on it as well. And then they add carnitas.
Okay.
And then they wrap it up in a burrito. And I mean, dude, this burrito is freaking huge.
It's probably the size of a can.
Yeah, it's probably the size of the Cosferos La Cheve can.
Jeez. Well, I like an over medium egg. I don't like over easy because I don't like the white being runny. The texture for me kind of feels snotty. I don't like it. So over medium is perfect.
Yes. So that would be for breakfast, for lunch, and it would have to end up being a special order because of timing issues. So you said if I recommend another barbecue place, I'm recommending something that's fire.
Mm-hmm.
There is another Latino couple who have become real good friends of ours now. They go by as Mecha Barbecue. They do a lot of pop-ups, night markets. But I got put on with them because I saw their videos one day and they make a smash burger. And so I tried it, but I'm very unique in my own way that I like to customize a lot of things. So even for foods, I will add and subtract and just stuff that you would never think of. So he was offering smash burgers, and he also had tri-tip, and he had pulled pork and brisket as well on the menu. So I had him give me a double smash burger with pulled pork and brisket.
Good Lord.
And that was one of the best burgers It's in one of the top 3 best burgers I've ever had in my life. Number one is, I'm gonna say it's Gordon Ramsay's Planet Hollywood, the burger spot that he has at Planet Hollywood,
Yeah.
which is no longer on the menu, which was a shrimp and lobster burger.
Jeez.
That's my number one. But like this guy Mecha and his smash burger with the brisket and the pulled pork, that's either easily number 2.
Okay. So that's lunch.
Yep. For dinner, damn. It all depends on what we're feeling, because we've already had a burrito, which is a little bit on the Mexican side. Like, I'm probably gonna go with what I would like for it to be my last meal, which would be, I'm a big Italian food person, and I love spaghetti.
Okay.
I want a homemade, like you're making pasta from scratch, your own scratch marinara. So I want a spaghetti like that. I also want a big A5 Wagyu tomahawk.
Of course.
And I want Gordon Ramsay's lobster risotto. And top it off with Gordon Ramsay's sticky toffee pudding.
¿Quieres nada?
I'm saying if we're going all out, we're going all out, and we're gonna eat like kings that day.
Which, that's my favorite question to ask, because yeah, we should eat like kings. Everyone like gives us these like modest, like, oh, we're gonna go get just like a burger, and it's like, you motherfucker, like, no, all out, like all out.
We have one of our greatest memories that we have. It just brings a laugh and a smile to us. One of my favorite restaurants, and it's kind of like funny, but it's gonna be Cheesecake Factory.
Okay.
It came to a point where like every birthday we were spending at Cheesecake Factory because I love their 4-cheese pasta.
Okay.
And then like literally it was like clockwork. We're going to 4-cheese pasta. What am I ordering? I'm ordering Buffalo Blast as an appetizer. I'm getting a mojito because I freaking love their damn mojitos. And I'm ordering the 4-cheese pasta with chicken and shrimp.
Okay.
And their chocolate tower truffle cake for dessert. And then it came to the point where I actually got to try out Steak Diane one time, and I'm like, oh God, this is so good. And now it's like, it was always like, okay, well, what do I want? Do I want to have the pasta or do I want the steak? And one day we were like, you know what?
Like
fuck
YOLO.
this. YOLO. Let's just fucking go all out. And so we ordered the Buffalo Blast. The guy comes out and I'm like, I ordered the 4-cheese pasta. And then I also ordered the Steak Diane. And he's all like, okay, cool. Like he starts to walk away. And I'm like, hey, hold on, bro. Like my wife still needs to order. He's like, wait, that's all for you? And I'm all like, yeah. She's like, she's still going to order. She's like, he's all like, oh shit. Okay, cool. So then she orders her one dish. And then she said, oh, well, if you're going to do it, I'm going to do it too. So she orders a second entree. And the guy's all like, wait, you guys are for real? You guys aren't waiting for other people to come by? And like, no, it's just us two. I was like, what are we celebrating? I'm like, dude, we're just celebrating life, bro. Like, we just want to have a good time. And the guy, like, I guess he was having a bad day that when we showed up and we did that, it just completely turned around his shift. Because now he was fucking having a blast. He was coming out. He was taking care of us. Like the day that the service that we got after he took our order was like completely turned around. And it just made it such a memorable occasion for us that like now we just think about that day and we just immediately just laugh.
Yeah.
I haven't been to a Cheesecake Factory in years.
It's been a while since we've been there.
Yeah, I think there's only one of them around me, and it's not really near me. It's like it's far enough away to where it's like we'd have to plan to go to cheese. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's just out of the way. Yeah. So if you wanted to cook breakfast, lunch, dinner, what are we doing? Because I can only imagine at this point.
All right, if we're cooking, so we're gonna do the breakfast burrito, man. I would want you to try our breakfast burrito
with the pancakes and everything.
Yep,
I
that's our
figured.
breakfast. For lunch, what do I like to have for lunch usually?
I don't know. Chinese food.
Nah.
I know it depends.
It really depends because for lunch, usually I have a heavy breakfast because I tend to only eat twice a day.
I'm the same way.
If I do get the chance to eat twice a day, but what we would probably do
what chilaquiles
maybe the chilaquiles so, or no, actually no, I know exactly what we would do. We would not have lunch because we would have a heavy ass breakfast.
I was gonna say, like, if we skip lunch, I'm okay with that.
So we're gonna do our breakfast burrito. I'm gonna make you a coffee drink because, dude, we're gonna be hammered that day. So I'm gonna make you a carajillo.
Okay.
And that's basically like we have our own little espresso machine here, our own coffee bar, I should say. Mm-hmm. So it's a shot of condensed milk, a shot of a coffee liqueur, a shot of espresso, and evaporated milk that's heated. So that's how we're starting off for breakfast. So we're doing that. We're doing chilaquiles with a nice fucking ribeye steak.
With breakfast.
For breakfast. Okay. Lunch, we're going to be too fucking full for that.
Yeah. So we'll skip lunch.
We're skipping lunch.
Although I guess we could have beer for lunch.
There you go.
There we go.
And then we're going to go, we can have palomas because that's one of my favorite drinks.
Okay.
So we're going to be having palomas. And then for dinner, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing some picanha. That's going to be marinated in Los Colferos La Cheve. We're also going to do tasajo, prime. So traditional carne asada is done with ranchera or skirt steak. Tasajo, I don't know how you would say it, but it's basically kind of like it's like a flank steak, but it looks more like a tri-tip strips.
Okay. I can visualize it.
So it's very, very tender.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes out real soft, and it grabs a lot of the flavor that you put into it. So I'm going to do my rub that I use for my brisket on that, and we're going to smoke it. And we're going to smoke the picanha.
Okay.
My wife is going to make her red rice. We're going to have my suegra over because we're going to need some salsas. And her salsas are bomb. And like she knows how to make them exactly the way I like them. And we're probably gonna have tacos out of tasajo, which is kind of like a tri-tip tacos. Okay. We're gonna do picanha tacos. We've done that once and it came out freaking delicious. That we want to do it again. And for dessert, I will probably get involved in that one if my wife decides to not bake. So in my family, we are known for tres leches cakes.
Oh, so good.
Not a lot of people try it now because I'm done with it. I don't like making it anymore. Mm-hmm. And the reason behind that is, as I was growing up, my mom was always interested and always wanted to learn how to decorate cakes. And she found out that Michael's offers like cake decorating classes, and so she told me, she was like, "Hey, would you sign up with me to go do the classes?" And I'm like, "Why do you want me to sign up for you? You could just go do it yourself." And she was like, "Oh, they're gonna be English speakers, and that way you could just translate for me." And I'm like, "All right, I'm not doing anything. Fuck it, go." And so whatever, we signed up for classes, and turns out it's a Latino teacher that speaks Spanish. So I'm like, what am I here for? But I ended up figuring out that I had a knack for it. So, like, long story short, like, I can basically do a full out wedding cake, like advanced wedding cake, like fondant, make them look like showstopper cakes. Because I did like basically a year's worth of classes.
Jeez.
So every class, so we were going to this class once a week. We would always have to bring in a cake made so that we could decorate it in class. Because every class we were learning a new technique, and we were always having to decorate a certain way so that we could learn how to do stuff, right? So imagine a whole year's worth every week making a cake. Yeah, I was done with making cakes. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. But one of the things is like the whole family, that was kind of like a tradition. Like any of my cousins or my little nieces and nephews graduated, we were the ones that made them their graduation cake. And the most requested cake was a tres leches cake, which is it's a recipe that's been passed down from a couple of generations in my dad's side of the family. So that would probably make you one of those. And not a lot of people get to try it. Like it took my wife, 2 years before I finally made it for you when we first started dating. So yeah, I'd probably make you a tres leches cake.
I'm hungry. Like this is. Thank God we did it at like noon.
Right. You could get some food afterwards and talk about
it. Yeah, it's not like it's 11 p.m. at night. Oh my God, that's so much. I gotta go eat. Well, David, Eva, I'm so excited to get out there. Like, it's gonna be one hell of an event we got planned for the Shindig. Hell of an event. But two, it's gonna be a hell of a week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm excited for you guys to come.
You're gonna have to wheel me like in a wheelbarrow.
Sorry, I have a wheelchair.
Perfect. Perfect. Just wheel me to the airport and just dump me. Oh, I'm so excited. Guys, thank you for being on, sharing your story with food and your life with food. I can't wait to hear this one. Obviously, this one's a little bit different because it doesn't come out this Friday. It comes up the next Friday. But I now have to sit on it and be like, damn, I am starving. And I'm going to have to edit it and be like, damn, I am starving. So thank you so much for teaching me about Warrior Smokehouse and all the food and in a way about you two, because I think food is a great way to look at people with what they like, how they make it. Clearly, you guys have a lot of love. Not obviously love between you two, but then love to give. You don't set up pop-ups or catering if you don't love other people and if you don't love the food and what you're doing. So I'm sure your community thanks you. I'm thanking you because the food looks phenomenal. So for what you're doing, thank you. I'm excited to try it. But yeah, I mean, that's all I got, so I need to go eat something before I get super mad or angry.
I mean, that's one of the reasons too, we kind of came up with our little slogan that we have, and it's just basically feeding the world's panza one taco at a time.
Feeding the world one panza at a time.
And again, like we love what we do, even though there's times that we just want to quit because it's a lot of work. But just seeing the joy in people's faces when they get to try our food, that just always brings us back around. Again, we're excited for you guys to come down and actually get to try the food. Excited to hang out with you guys. And again, thank you for giving us this opportunity to spread our story and what makes us us. And dude, we look forward to spending time with you guys. I look forward to hearing your podcast more because you give me something to hear while I'm at work.
Yeah, I mean, currently I'm not going to give away any names, so we're booked out through the first week of May. So we have some really fun guests coming, and there's a couple people I need to message to revisit because they have had stuff change. So hope from me to you, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope it doesn't get stale. But we have a lot of really fun guests coming and a lot of really cool stories to tell that I'm really looking forward to. So this is the beauty of it. We are golf and things. So there's some times where there's no golf. We talked a little bit about golf, but mainly food.
I mean, we could have gone everywhere in this chat because we have so many interests that we both align properly, like with our love for the shoe game. the golfing thing too. But I do appreciate that you kept it strictly on our food and what we started, and we decided to make this our little side business.
I mean, you could probably have it more than a side business, but the part with food that people don't understand is once you quit loving the process with food, you don't want to do it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Whether, because now you're being forced to wake up and cook. Now you're not doing it for the love of it and for the enjoyment and for the, XYZ. Now it's like, hey, if I don't do it today, I'm not going to get paid.
Yeah.
That takes so much out of you, especially in the food and restaurant industry. You have to truly love it. And there's a lot of people that do. And there's a lot of people like myself who love to cook, but I know myself, if I had to wake up every day and do it, I would lose that so quick. So
Yeah.
it's really cool to see what you guys are doing and how you're doing it. And I'm excited to try it. I just have to hold my horses because I am ready to go. That's the hard part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But thank you for coming on. Thank you for telling your story. And yeah, I mean, I hope you had fun and I can't wait to publish this one.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it. And
absolutely.
See you soon.
It's coming.
Right
it's
around
coming.